Hey guys, let's get more news from Dallas Cowboys, but first don't forget to subscribe to the channel and leave your like. Micah Parsons on Josh Allen, he's a crazy frat guy. The Dallas Cowboys' stifling defense will be tested as they face Josh Allen and the Buffalo Bills offense in a battle of strengths on Sunday. Containing Allen will be critical for the Cowboys on Sunday, and as the face of the defense, All-Pro linebacker Micah Parsons will bear the brunt of that responsibility. Naturally, the star pass rusher has been doing his research on his opponent, and he gave an astute, yet humorous description of the quarterback while speaking to reporters on Thursday. "Josh doesn't really believe in sliding," Parsons said. "You know, Josh reminds me a lot of that one crazy guy at the frat. He's that wild dude on the field. He wants to dip his shoulder, talk trash, he's gonna get rowdy." Parsons is right that Allen, who stands tall at 6'5" and 237 pounds, isn't always keen on sliding, and he's far from the first to notice it. Tom Brady even made a point about it when Allen was a guest on his podcast, but the Bills' quarterback doesn't seem keen on changing his play style anytime soon. "He is right, I'm not saying that he's wrong, but you can get hurt in the pocket just as much as you can outside the pocket," Allen said. "That's the only caveat that I have for that. You gotta go win a football game, and sometimes that calls upon me doing something like putting my body on the line for my teammates because of how much I do love my teammates and how much I see them working their tails off too." Granted, Allen has shown more of a willingness to slide or go out of bounds this season, but the 27-year-old is still willing to put his body on the line when the situation comes to it. Whether it's by tackling Allen or him going down on his own volition, the Cowboys will need to limit the star quarterback to win on Sunday. CeeDee Lamb makes bold claim about Cowboys' passing game. The Dallas Cowboys are one of the hottest teams in the NFL coming into Week 15's matchup against the Buffalo Bills, with the team seemingly as confident as ever and ready to make a deep run in the NFL playoffs. After an impressive blowout win over the division rival Philadelphia Eagles last week, the Cowboys made a statement, as they arguably became the second-best team in the league behind the San Francisco 49ers. One aspect of the Cowboys' success so far this season has been the improved passing game, with star quarterback Dak Prescott and his receivers on the same page and firing on all cylinders in 2023. Ahead of the matchup with the Bills on Sunday, star wide receiver CeeDee Lamb was asked about the team's passing game and whether he thinks it has hit the max potential, with the 24-year-old believing they can get better, according to John Machota of The Athletic. Even though the Cowboys are one of the hottest teams in the league right now and are well on their way to clinching a playoff spot in the NFC, Dallas still has a few challenging matchups to deal with before the postseason begins. After facing the Bills on the road in Buffalo this week, the Cowboys will finish out the season against the Miami Dolphins, Detroit Lions, and the division rival Washington Commanders. Dallas will be a force to be reckoned with if they can continue playing at a high level on both sides of the football, but the regular season is anything but done. Wild trade proposal sends Cowboys two-time Pro Bowler. The Dallas Cowboys could be an ideal landing spot for a two-time Pro Bowler and former Super Bowl champion. In a hypothetical trade scenario proposed by Bleacher Report's Joe Tanzi, the Cowboys could show interest in Tampa Bay Buccaneers offensive tackle Tristan Wirfs. Wirfs is mentioned as a potential solution due to longtime tackle Tyron Smith's impending free agency. The Cowboys could take a big swing on the offensive line trade market to secure the interior for years to come, writes Tanzi. The easy solution for the Cowboys would be to re-sign Smith for a year or two and draft an offensive tackle in the first round. The out-of-the-box wild hypothetical would be to call the Tampa Bay Buccaneers about Tristan Wirfs. Tanzi also mentions Wirfs' expiring deal as a selling point for why the Cowboys should explore the idea of acquiring the young tackle. Wirfs has 1 year left on his contract, albeit an expensive one, but the Cowboys could be a draw to the 24-year-old left tackle because of their status in the NFC, writes Tanzi. Dallas needs elite players at every position to keep up with the Eagles and San Francisco 49ers, and one way to do it could be to ship a few draft picks in exchange for a left tackle who could start for the next 10 years. Smith has served as a starting tackle since entering the NFL with the Cowboys in 2011 and has started all 158 games he's appeared in. Although he's 33 years old, he remains one of the top left tackles in the league, if not the top blindside blocker. According to Pro Football Focus, Smith has posted an 84.0 offensive grade and 89.1 pass blocking grade this season. Among full-time tackles, Smith has the third highest offensive grade and the highest pass blocking grade of any player at his position this season. However, there is the possibility that Smith walks elsewhere for a bigger payday. According to Over the Cap, Smith's contract valuation, based upon his play this season, is $16.750 million. While the 8-time Pro Bowler's level of play remains at an elite level, the Cowboys are not going to pay a 33-year-old veteran entering his 14th season that type of money. If Smith can garner a bigger deal from the market, that would mean the Cowboys would be forced to look for a replacement. Considering how important the left tackle position is, especially when it comes to protecting Dak Prescott's blind side, Dallas would want an experienced replacement. That is where Wirfs would fit into the equation. Although Wirfs is only 24 years old, he's already played in the biggest games. Upon being selected with the 13th overall pick in the 2020 NFL Draft, Wirfs immediately stepped in as the starting right tackle and manned the position for Tom Brady's 3 years in Tampa. He made the switch to left tackle this season and is still playing at a high level. According to PFF, Wirfs has posted a 77.8 offensive grade and 83.8 pass blocking grade this season. The pass blocking grade is actually the third highest among all full-time tackles, just behind Smith. If the Buccaneers miss out on the playoffs this season and choose to go all in on a rebuild, the best way to do that might be to flip Wirfs for a package of draft picks. If that ends up being the case, the Cowboys could be the ideal landing spot for Wirfs. Tristan Wirfs was a right tackle and a darned good one, an All-Pro in 2021 and 2022. He liked being a right tackle. And he didn't want to be anything else. Then in late January, Wirfs sat across from Todd Bowles in the Tampa Bay Buccaneers head coach's office for his exit meeting. He was expecting the usual, "We appreciate your hard work this year, we need to keep working in the offseason, relax a little, but don't get too out of shape." But Bowles dropped a bomb. "We're thinking of moving you to left tackle," Bowles told him. "We just want you to try it out. If it doesn't feel good, you can go back to right." Then Wirfs visited with offensive line coach Joe Gilbert, who was more definitive. And you fan, what do you think of the Tristan Wirfs situation? Leave your opinion in the comments.